morning. Hopefully you're having a good one. Cloudy again out there. Of course, that's the way a lot of times we start off. We start off, I'd say 80% of the morning start off cloudy, but we'll end up seeing some sun, and it's going to be hot. And if you're thinking to yourself, wow, it sure has been hot lately. It really has. I mean, it feels more like July, like we're in the throes of July and not May. And so really, really bad. And I'm going to let you know if there's any kind of relief on the way. I'll just give you a little hint. Probably not much. So let's get to the maps. Not that one. There we go. That's the one we want. Okay, again, hopefully you're having a good time today and enjoying the day today. Let's say hi to some folks. Matt, how are you? Jaime, how are you doing? Hope you're doing good. Chris, George is watching with us. Denise, how are you today? Charlie, how are you? Tina, Chris, thanks for streaming with us. We really appreciate it. Okay, so we've got lots of clouds out there. Plus, have you noticed a little bit of a haze out there this morning as well? Last couple of days we've had a little haze, some smoke coming from Mexico, making it look just a little hazy out there. 84 is the current temperature this morning. Last several mornings we've been way above average. This morning the low temperature was 78. Normal low is 65. 78, like I said, that's more like what you'd see for a low in July. Record low, 48, set back in 1969, that'd be nice. Record high, 98, set back in 2008. I don't think we'll break the record today. I'll show you the map here in just a minute. We tied yesterday. So we're going to lose these clouds, may take a little bit longer. High today, I think 96, and then if you've got anything planned this evening, it will be warm, but once the sun goes down, of course, those temperatures will drop off a little bit. High yesterday, 97 degrees. Catula about 102. Let's move this over a little bit. There you go. Yeah, Catula about 102. Del Rio 97. Pleasanton almost a century mark yesterday. Floresville coming in at 99 as well. All right, so with these extreme temperatures, don't forget, be careful with the car. Leaving somebody inside, a dog, child. When the air temperature is 90, within 20 minutes, it's 119 in that car. 30 minutes, 124, and within an hour, it gets way up into the 130s. So, yeah, as you know, when you get in your car, it's just stifling hot, especially if you've got leather seats and you've got a dark interior. Ooh, that's the worst. It gets really hot. Maybe even a sunroof if you leave the sunroof open. But anyway, okay, so outside right now, we've got a temperature of 84 degrees. We still have the clouds. Notice down to the south and east and south where they're already seeing some sunshine, down towards Catula, George West, Victoria, Port Lavaca, already 90, and heat index values are already well into the 90s down south, and we're only at 11:15 this morning, so really hot. It's going to be a hot day. All right, here's their pattern. High to the east, flow off the Gulf of Mexico. There is a dry line out to the west. Now, this is really interesting. I drew this map I don't know, 7 o'clock this morning, and it's 4 hours later. Notice how the green is west of where I've got my dry line written. Most of the time during the day, the dry line will go from west to east and progress eastward. Well, there's so much humidity that it's actually bulging, kind of going the other way. Along that dry line, there may be a few thunderstorms either way. Too far to the west to help us out, but I do think our western counties, it is possible that you could pick up a thunderstorm, and some of those could be strong to severe. By the way, let's say hi to some more folks. Rachel, how are you today? Minta, thanks for streaming with us. Silver Fox. Who is that? Was that Charlie Rich? Was the Silver Fox? If I know that answer, I'm getting up there. Heather Alonzo, how are you? And Rosie, how are you doing? Sissy, well, thanks for joining us today. All right, I want you to see this. This is cool. Of course, I think it's cool. You might not. But notice where temperatures are in the 80s, okay? Just kind of carved out from Texas up to Wisconsin and then back down to Mississippi, right there. I want you to just visually remember that. And then look at these temperatures out in the northwestern portions of the country. Portland 49, Boise, Idaho 39, Salt Lake City's in the 40s. What is going on here? Well, I tell you what, even if I hadn't looked at the map as far as the mid-levels of the atmosphere, say about 20,000 feet or above that, just glancing at this, I can tell you from Los Angeles to Denver to Bismarck, that's where the storm track is, way to the north and west of us. And there's a trough in the western part of the country and a ridge, big high, across the central portion of the country. So when I go ahead and hit this, there we go. Yep, exactly. The storm track is in between, by the way, the heights of the atmosphere. Lower pressure is more of a green, higher pressure is more of an orange. And the trough out to the west, and inside that trough, did you see those temperatures, how cool those temperatures were? And then with the summer-like ridge across Texas and the southern part of the country, hot. And by the way, this ridge of high pressure, it's way too early to see these kind of ridges of high pressure. All right, out west, I think there probably will be some thunderstorms. Won't affect us here in Bexar County. The ridge just stays pretty strong for the next several days. I do think it's going to break down on Saturday. But I think if any kind of thunderstorms develop, they'll likely stay either northeast or north of the area. There is a chance, though, let me roll this back just a little bit to the afternoon. Here we go, right about there. There, okay. There is a chance that along the frontal boundary that some thunderstorms will develop in North Texas, and notice the arrows and the mid-level flow of the atmosphere from north to south. There is a chance that some of those could ride that flow all the way down into South Texas, but it's not a very good chance. Matter of fact, I think Rich Strike at 80-1 odds probably has better odds than that happening. So anyway, okay, let's take a look. This is what I think is going to happen as we head through the day today. It is definitely going to be a hot one. 95 degrees is going to be the high. Of course, that's a little bit better than the 97 that we had yesterday. Thunderstorms will develop out west, I think, Valverde County, mountains of Mexico, and then pressing to the east. But because the atmosphere is going to be more hostile and we're going to lose daytime heating, I think those thunderstorms will likely fade away, and they could be really strong, though, with some large hail and some gusty winds. And then once we get to about 10 o'clock in the evening, they'll tend to fade away and should not affect us here in Bexar County. Tomorrow morning, we start off with clouds again, no surprise there. And then highs again tomorrow. I think we're in the mid-90s, and I think we can pretty much say the same thing for Thursday. So let's take a look at tonight. Really late this afternoon into this evening from, let's say, about 4 p.m. to about 10 p.m. In the green, that's the area that is in a very slight risk of severe storms. That'd be from Lakey to Uvalde to Eagle Pass. That's because the storms, once they get that far to the east, I showed you a while ago, should fall apart. In the yellow section, in the slight risk area, basically from Rock Springs to just west of Eagle Pass, including Del Rio and Brackettville, you've got a slight risk of severe storms, so a better chance of seeing some large hail and some damaging winds from the storms that develop out there to the west. All right, before we get to the very end and the whole meat of what I'm going to tell you today, you know, I think the slug was, could the drought get worse? Okay, I'm going to get to that. If you've been waiting for that, sorry. But we're about to get to that, what I think is probably going to happen. All right, Michelle, hey, thanks for streaming with us. David Romo, thanks for streaming. Joe, good to hear from you. Lori, how are you? Gracie, how are you? Lisa, thanks for streaming. Patty, Josh, Gloria, and Laura. So we've just got a lot of folks with us today. Okay, is the drought going to get worse? Well, with the pattern that I see now, just a terrible pattern, with a big summer-like upper-level high, and I don't see that really changing a whole lot. Next 10 days, we probably won't pick up much rain in the rain gauge. So that's bad. So having said that, we could probably go for the next 10 to 14 days without a lot of rainfall. I want you to look at Medina Lake. Medina Lake, of course, it's used for irrigation. That lake is really used a lot. It's down to 18% full again, way down there. The lake level's at 1,008 feet. Now, Canyon Lake, that one stays a little bit more stable because the water from the aquifer, Guadalupe River, continues to run in there and keeps it pretty full. So there's a big difference between Canyon Lake and Medina Lake. But I think Medina Lake is probably just going to keep going down. Okay, we have 10 days of no rain. I think there's a chance that we could go from severe to extreme drought across Bexar County to exceptional. I think that may happen. And then looking at the aquifer, I think we're sitting at 646.4 historic average is 665. We're way below where we should be for this time of the year. And honestly, the way I see things shaping up over the next 10 days to months, I think we've got a much better chance of hitting 630 before we hit 660 on the aquifer. It's just the way it looks to me. All right, molds are light, 370, and here's a look at your 7-day. So I guess to answer the question, could the drought situation get worse? Yes, I think it definitely could get worse. All right, so temperatures, there's no reason to really change temperatures a whole lot. Because of the increased humidity, the air temperature coming down a little bit, but the net result's still going to feel like about 102 this afternoon, 96 degrees. Wednesday, Thursday, I think mid-90s, clouds in the morning, mostly sunny in the afternoon. And then, according to the computer models, and I think I have to agree, it really, they tend to dry things out a lot as we head into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And so what I think is going to happen is the heat index will come down, but the temperatures will come up a couple of degrees. So 95 Friday, we're back to the mid-90s Saturday and Sunday around 96, and then 97 degrees on Monday. But if you have something planned, I had a couple of folks ask me, hey, Saturday, it's going to be hot, right? It is going to be hot, but I think I'd take Saturday over today because the heat index today, 102, yesterday's heat index, 104. I think Saturday, it's going to feel like 96. So yes, it is going to hit the mid-90s, but I think it'll feel a little bit more comfortable. Now, that is with, even though we've got that southerly wind and the humidity staying, it should stay up with the southerly wind. I think because of the ridge of high pressure and a lot of mixing, that the relative humidity values will come down. Now, let's just say that the relative humidity values don't come down over the weekend. Well, yeah, then we'd be looking at heat index values from 102 to 105. But at this point, I think more like mid-90s. So anyway, wow, we've been on for quite a while. Again, thank you so much for streaming. We really appreciate it. I've got the noon show coming up. I'm going to be doing that. Watch us at 4, 5, 6, and 10. And then I'll be back tomorrow morning, and we'll talk more weather and see if I see any relief in sight. Probably one day is not going to make a difference, I'll be honest with you, but we appreciate you watching, that's for sure. Okay, thanks for streaming with us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and make sure and stay hydrated. All right, we'll see you later.